The coolest octopus I have seen is the Wonderpus. Not only is this octopus extremely rare, but the encounter that I had with it, it's gonna blow your mind. Now, my search for the Wonderpus took me 9,000 miles away from home, completely to the other side of the planet in Indonesia, to a place called the Limbe Strait, which is a narrow channel of water that is uniquely situated in a place where volcanic sediments and nutrient-rich waters collide. And this creates a super bizarre ecosystem that feels otherworldly. Now, at first glance, this underwater lunar surface just seems barren. And you might be asking yourself, why would so many divers travel from all over the world to this place? Well, that's because on that lunar surface, tucked into the little cracks and holes, is a treasure trove of super unique creatures, including some of the most rare and bizarre on the planet. But in order to find them, it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. So this is muck diving at its finest. And while there were many creatures that I wanted to find, the one that always stood out of the crowd was the Wonderpus, because they are considered one of the most unique looking octopuses in the world. And some say they are the most intelligent of them all. And like every search for a rare animal, it's all about repetition. So we were relentless. We were diving day after day, dive after dive after dive, and we were seeing a lot. There were so many cool creatures down there, it was hard to actually pick what to film and what to not film. And I love frogfish, so every time I would see a cool frogfish, I would zoom in on it to see if I could get some feeding behavior and get that lure moving around. But I knew in the back of my mind, I can't stay here for any one animal for too long, because the search for the Wonderpus is gonna take everything I've got. But when it came to finding one of these octopus, it wasn't until our 9th day of diving until we had our first break. But as I made my way through the murky water, down to the seafloor, into the sand, that's when I saw it. What I thought was a flounder, and it wasn't. But once I got closer, and it broke its camouflage where I could see it, clearly what I was looking at was an octopus. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's the Wonderpus. It's almost the Wonderpus. It's another species of mimicking octopus, commonly known as the mimic octopus, that they actually thought was the same as a Wonderpus until 2006, but they have some very distinct differences, including their size. The mimic octopus is much larger, and it has been studied in a more prolific way. We don't know as much about the Wonderpus, but we know that the mimic octopus can do about 15 different mimics of other species, including a flat fish like a flounder. Now, when I spotted it, I knew we had to film this octopus. It's the first mimic octopus that I had ever seen, and I wanted to see if we could get some of those cool displays and mimics on camera. And sure enough, this little octopus did not disappoint. As we head into summer, it's the perfect time for you to share your own adventure stories. And with today's sponsor, Opus Clip, it's easier than ever. With their new feature, Clip Anything, it makes content creation smarter, faster, and way more manageable. For teams like ours that are always out in the field capturing wild encounters, tools like Clip Anything can be a real game changer. Because time spent editing is time away from the adventure, so having AI that speeds up the process makes a huge difference. And here's exactly how tools like Clip Anything helps creators move faster. There's AI Reframe. It instantly resizes your footage for any platform. AI Voiceover brings your story to life without even needing a microphone. And then there's AI B-roll, which finds visuals to match your content, saving you hours in post-production. Just drop in your footage and Clip Anything handles the rest. No more juggling 5 different tools or pulling all-nighters just to get a clip out. So whether you're just starting out or you're looking to up your content game, Clip Anything helps you stay out on the adventure and not stuck in a timeline. So get started today by clicking the link in the description or visiting www.opus.pro/clipanything. All right, now it's time to get back to the dive. I tried to drift with the octopus until it calmed down and started to relax, and that's when its interest in me started to kick in. Now, along with taking on other forms and impersonation, I have to say, the coloration of the mimic octopus was super impressive. It flashed those bright stripes and warning signs. I really saw the sea snake impersonation clear as day. These displays can really fool you, especially when you're in that murky water in the muck environment. Scientists believe this mimicry is used to fool predators into thinking that the octopus is far more dangerous than it really is. So think about that. This animal is trying to pretend to be another animal to avoid getting eaten. That's some next level survival skills. Now, a lot like some of the other creatures that we had already filmed on this trip, the mimic octopus also lives beneath the muck. So when they want to leave, they can. And for its final disappearing act, I have to say the mimic octopus gave us a show that was award worthy. So at this point on the trip, we're seeing lots of creatures. We see our mimic octopus, so we're not going home empty-handed with amazing footage. We've got it on camera, and it was incredible, but all I had on my mind was searching for the Wonderpus. It wasn't until the last day, when hope was starting to fade, that this happened. We're on our second to last dive, and I'm going through the murky water, and out of the blue, literally floats into the frame of my camera, a Wonderpus. Just like it was taking a stroll through the neighborhood, the creature that I had been searching for over 11 days of scuba diving. We had done over 50 scuba dives at this point. It just happened that easy. It's like you can't script when things like that happen. Sometimes we search so hard to find the creatures only to have moments like this occur, where when you just relax and you let it flow, things go your way. At this point, it's game on. I am camera locked on the Wonderpus, trying to catch every moment I can of this creature before it disappears. The Wonderpus is known for its rusty brown and white striped pattern, which is unique to each individual. It's like a fingerprint. And unlike many other octopuses, its body is slender with long, narrow arms lined with white tips, giving it a more delicate and almost alien-looking appearance. Now, like I said, they are super rare. Even the dive guides of the dive resort we were staying at were telling us how few Wonderpus they actually see. So the fact that this was happening was like literally blowing my mind in real time. But looking back at this footage was just such a special moment. It was amazing how it was just dancing in front of the camera. We were almost creating like a bond, which I have had with other cephalopods before. I've had this happen with the cuttlefish, with some other species of squid, but never quite experienced what happened next. And hopefully a lot of you watching this have already seen the octopus teacher, but every time the contact was made with that animal, I totally believed it. And I wish that I was on the other side of the camera in the situation. I never had that with an octopus before. So given how friendly this Wonderpus is being, I gently put out my hand just to see if there was a real bond between us. And if this octopus wanted to get away, it could jet away in a second. They are very quick at evading predators. This just goes to show you how intelligent an octopus is, to know that I meant it no harm and I was just curious about seeing it and spending those moments that we had together underwater. So after about 4 or 5 minutes of this, I realized we were running out of air and it's time to go back to the boat. So I gently placed the Wonderpus back down in the sand and said goodbye to one of the coolest sea creatures I have ever seen. Now, I can only think of 2 or 3 other times in the past 10 years of making wildlife films that we have come down to the bitter end like that, to the last day, to find the star creature that we were searching for. And that's what makes this one so special. I will never forget my encounter with the Wonderpus for as long as I live. And I hope that you too, watching this video, have now come to appreciate the wonder that is the Wonderpus.